Hey everyone, it's Pete with Geek Observer. Welcome or welcome back. Today, we're going to get you caught up on what's next for the Star Wars shows. So, there's a handful of shows that have been confirmed, and there's some that are speculated or ones that we hope to see return. So, we'll start off with the ones that have been confirmed. First up is Tales of the Empire, which comes out on Star Wars Day, May 4th of 2024. And that'll be all episodes, not just one or two, but all will be released at the same time. This show is a spin-off of Tales of the Jedi, so it's animated, and it again will follow two characters from the Star Wars universe. This time it's Morgan Elsbeth and Barriss Offee. In this series of shorts, it will show how Morgan Elsbeth joins up with Thrawn, and it will also follow the journey that Barriss Offee takes while becoming an Inquisitor. Tales of the Jedi was a really solid series, and I thought all the shorts were good, so I've got high hopes for this one. The trailer looked really good, and I do like both characters, so I think this one's going to be a win. So the next show is The Acolyte, which releases on June 4th, 2024. That's exactly 1 month after Star Wars Day and the release of Tales of the Empire. This show takes place in the High Republic era, and a lot of people didn't like the trailer. I thought it looked really intriguing, and it's something new, and the High Republic has been featured in comics and books, but we haven't seen it on screen, and so I'm really interested to dive into that era and see where it goes, see how the story unfolds. I'm going to read you the official description of this one, because I think it looks interesting. An investigation into a shocking crime spree pits a respected Jedi Master against a dangerous warrior from his past. As more clues emerge, they travel down a dark path where sinister forces reveal all is not what it seems. So that to me sounds interesting. It's kind of like where the Sith return and the fall of the High Republic, or not the fall, but the end of that era before the prequels. I'd keep my eye out on this one. I think it's going to be good too. The next show is Skeleton Crew, and this one stars Jude Law. And I'm a big fan of Jude Law. He's done some really good stuff, I think. He's done some other not so great stuff too, but overall I think he's been really solid in most of his movies that I've seen. So that will lend some star power to this series. And the description is this. Let me read it to you. 4 kids make a mysterious discovery on their home planet that leads them to get lost in a strange and dangerous galaxy. So that seems pretty interesting. This one might be, a little bit more to the younger audience. It does have a TV-14 rating, it looks like, so maybe not, But I think this one's going to be interesting too. And it's set in the era where Mandalorian takes place after Return of the Jedi. And it will also likely be part of the crossover movie in that era that's going to be coming out later as well. And there was a trailer released of this at Star Wars Celebration this year. It hasn't been publicly released yet, but the attendees there saw it. And from the description I read, it seems pretty interesting. And we found out that Jude Law's character is actually a Jedi. So that'll be really cool to see. I think he'll play a Jedi really well, and I'm excited for this one. The next show on the list is one that I think is going to knock it out of the park, and that's Andor Season 2. Season 1 was really fantastic. I think it's probably the best Star Wars series so far. I was a really big fan of Ahsoka as well, and Mandalorian, of course. That's what brought it all back. But I believe Andor was really, really good. I think that's probably the best one, objectively. And so Season 2 is likely going to come out in 2025. I'm really excited for this one. I hope they keep the same amount of episodes. And it's going to be really interesting to follow Cassian Andor, see where the rest of his story leads up to Rogue One. The first season was just, like I said, outstanding. It was a really kind of down-to-earth, a little bit more realistic and gritty take on the Star Wars universe. And it had the spy themes, and it had just the beginnings of the rebellion, and I'm really interested in this next season, so I can't wait for that one to come out. And the last show on the list for the ones that are confirmed is season 2 of Ahsoka. And like I mentioned earlier, I really enjoyed the first season. I was a really big fan of Star Wars Rebels, so having Sabine, Thrawn, and Ezra in this show, and Hera, I can't believe I forgot about Hera, she was fantastic. That was a really cool to see those characters in live action, and I think season 2 could tell a really good story. Season 1 also had Baylan Skoll, which was a really great character. So this one will be really cool, I think. I hope they focus on both Ezra and Sabine's arc as well as Ezra and Hera. Or if they don't, maybe they'll have another show with Ezra and Hera in it. And then this season 2 of Ahsoka will just be Ahsoka and Sabine and following their story. But I really hope it does include Ezra and Hera also. I think they were pretty pivotal characters, or not pivotal, but pretty vital characters in that show. So I hope they do continue their story also. This is another one I'm really excited for. We don't know when it's coming out, but there was a sketch that was released, and I'll put that on screen for you guys to see. Check it out. All right, now we're going to move on to a couple of shows that have the possibility of returning. These are both shows that have already had multiple seasons, and they may make a return, they may not, but it'd be really cool to see if they did. The first show that has a possibility of returning is The Mandalorian with season 4. Now, this one I kind of feel is unlikely, especially since they're doing the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, and also because season 3 ended on a note where it could be finished. They left it open to where there could be future adventures with Mando and Grogu, but it also had the feeling of the chapter closing on them. They, set up in a new place, and the story came to a close with Bo-Katan and all that. So I don't know, if we'll see another season of this. If we do, it may actually follow Bo-Katan, and that would be cool too. She's a really interesting character. But if we do get one, it probably won't be for a while. And like I said, I think it's unlikely because of the movie coming out. But Mandalorian is great, so more of it would be fantastic. And hopefully we'll get to see some of that. Okay, the next show on the list is the last one for today's video. And this one is a possible return as well. And that's Star Wars Visions Season 3. The first 2 seasons I thought were really, really great. They told some really interesting stories. You saw some unique takes on the Star Wars universe and the characters in there. The first season was all pretty much anime and from different studios there, but they told some really cool stories. The animation was beautiful. There were a couple that the story wasn't super great. The twins, for example, but the animation from Trigger was just amazing. Really, really good style there, and I really enjoyed the first season a lot. I think it was the Village Bride or the Wedding Bride. I can't remember exactly the name of it, but that one was really cool. The Ronin one was really cool as well. That was the Wanderer, the Ronin. Can't remember the title on that one either, but really, really cool on that one as well. All of them were good, but those really stood out for me. And season 2 was also really super cool. That one had different styles. There were 1 or 2 anime styled ones, and then the rest were pretty different styles. There was a claymation kind of one, and I don't think there was a 3D one, but there were some varied styles there, and those all had really interesting stories as well. So I'm really hoping we see more Star Wars Visions. I think that's one of the stronger animated series, and it's cool that it's shorts, it's an anthology, so you get all these different stories in a season, and hopefully we'll see more of that. I don't see why they wouldn't come back with the season 3. I believe both seasons did pretty well, so I'm really hoping we see more of Star Wars Visions. And that about wraps it up for today's video. If you made it this far, thanks for sticking with us. We really appreciate it. Let us know your thoughts on the upcoming Star Wars shows in the comments below. We'd love to have discussions with you, see what your thoughts are on these upcoming series, see if you have any other series you'd like to see return or things you'd like to see in the future. Let us know. If you liked this video, please like it. And if you didn't, well, please dislike it. We like to see what everyone's opinions are. And if you want to see more Star Wars content, as well as gaming and anime and other geeky videos, please hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.